So hey there, welcome back again. So today I'm going to discuss about us citizens, which is mentioned in our Indian Constitution. So Article 5 to Article 11 talk about us citizens. So as an Indian citizens, what kind of right do you have? And as an Indian citizens, what kind of the privilege do you have? And if we are not an Indian citizens, how can you get an Indian citizenships? So I'm going to discuss the whole thing. So if you want to get the information from my side, watch this video till the end because that is the informational video for you. So let's jump into the topic. Before I jump into the topic, if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, I'm requesting you subscribe and press the notification bell and share this video with your friends and family members too, and hit the like button also. So, who is an Indian citizen? The persons who lives in India permanently, that person doesn't call as an Indian citizens because the foreigner also live in India. That person was migrated and that person have a visa for reside in India, but that person doesn't call as an Indian citizens. The persons who have a identity card which were issued by the Indian government and the persons who have fulfilled some provisions which were mentioned in our Indian Constitution and which were mentioned in our Indian Citizenship Act, that person's known as an Indian citizen. And as an Indian citizen, you have a Indian identity card, like you have a voter card, you have an Aadhaar card, you have an Indian passport side, you have an Indian passport, and so many things which were issued by the government as a government document. That person known as an Indian citizen. So, who is not an Indian citizen? The person who doesn't live in India, the person who does not have any kind of the identity card which were issued by the government, that person known as a non-Indian citizen. So, if you want to get a citizens of India, how can you get Indian citizens? You cannot apply Indian citizen directly. You need to fulfill some provisions which were mentioned in our Indian constitutions and which is mentioned in our Indian constitution right now also. So if you want to get a citizens of India, you need to fulfill those provisions which is mentioned in our Indian constitution. So you can apply Article 5 if you fulfill those provisions which is mentioned in our Indian constitution, Article 5. Residence by domicile. So what domicile means? So domicile means you are reside in India, and you are reside in India. For example, you are residing in India since a 5 year, then you can apply the Article 5. As per the Article 5, you can get a citizens of India if you fulfill those provisions. The Article 5 clearly talk about the person who lives in India since a 5 year and who have a house permanently in India and who have a permanent intention to live in India. The any person grandparent who were born in India, the any person parent who were born in India, the person who was born in India before the commencement of the Indian constitutions and after the commencement immediately that person was born in India, then that person's fulfill the Article 5 provisions and that person's apply to get a citizens of India as per the Indian constitutions Article 5. And any other provisions also available. If you are migrated from the Pakistan, you can apply this Article 6, and if you are immigrated from the Pakistan, you can apply the Article 7, and if you are a foreigner person, then you can also get a citizens, but you need to fulfill the provisions which is mentioned in our Indian constitution. So when you fulfill those provisions, then you can get a citizens of our country. So when you get a citizens of our country, then you have some fundamental right, you have some privilege, you can enjoy your right without any restriction. That is not an absolute right. There is some reasonable restrictions. For example, now I'm talking about a right. What kind of the right do you have as an Indian citizen? So as an Indian citizens, the Article Constitutions, Article 12 to 35 talk about some fundamental rights. So you have some right, you can enjoy your right, no one can infringe your right, no one can prohibit it to enjoy your right, which is mentioned in our constitutions. Okay, so what kind of right do you have? No one can discriminate you just because of your gender, just because of your skin color, just because of your religion, just because of your place of birth. That is totally prohibited in our Indian constitutions. Article 50 talk about in this fact. And the Article 60 talk about the equality opportunity for the public employment. No one can discriminate you and you have an equal opportunity when the public employment is coming. Okay. So Article 60 talk about, and you also have some rights. You have a right to freedom of speech, you have a right to liberty, you have a right to access the road, you have a right to go anywhere where you want to go, you have a right to do any business which you want to do. Article 90 talk about, but there is some reasonable restrictions. For example, you have a right to freedom of speech. That doesn't mean you can defame any other person. That doesn't mean you can speech any hated argument which is prohibited by legally. Then that is called a reasonable restriction. You have some right, but with some reasonable restriction. No one can infringe your right, but which is prohibited by law, you cannot exercise those kind of things. So remember those things. So the persons who have a Indian, who is an Indian citizen, that person do any business which he want to do, and also you have some fundamental right. No one can infringe your right. So I hope this video is educational for you and this video very informational for you. So if this video is very helpful for you, hit the like button and share this video with your friends and family members, and subscribe my channel and press the notification bell. And if you want to get any topic, then you tell me in the comment box. I will make a video on that topic as much as I can. So that's all for today. I'm again back with another video. So now, Jai Hind, Bande Mataram.